Martina Navratilova is one of the greatest tennis players the world has ever seen. Her extraordinary achievements include 167 singles titles, more than any other player, male or female, and a record 9 Wimbledon singles titles.
I was the best player in the men's for a number of years, and I enjoyed doing that, but I've always wanted to be the unofficial women's champion too, so this is a good way for me to, to give that a start. And, with Martina and her record and the way she's played over the past 15 years of her career, and her record speaks for itself, that I don't think there's any better matchup that we could have than the two of us getting together and fighting it out.
But Martina's outstanding sporting success is only part of the story. There are many great tennis players, but not many of them have overcome the odds that Martina has, or become such an inspirational role model. It's Martina's personality and achievements off the tennis court that put her firmly up there with the greats. To get to where she is today, Martina had to literally give up everything. Born in Prague in 1956, she began hitting a tennis ball at 4.5 and won the Czech national championship at 15. In 1973, she turned professional and started playing in the United States. After losing to Chris Evert in the semi-finals of the 1975 US Open, the 18-year-old Martina defected to the US.
Why did I decide to do this? Because I felt I didn't get enough opportunities to play as much tennis as I want under the Czech government. I had to ask every time if I can play this tournament, if I can play that tournament, and I couldn't play team tennis. And now when I would go back, I would have to go back to school for 3 months, and I wouldn't have any chances to play any tennis at all. And I just felt that if I want to become number one, which I want to, that I couldn't do it under the circumstances at home.
But not everything about Martina's new country was good for her. Like many teenagers, she developed a taste for junk food, as well as the sort of consumer goods that were simply unattainable in communist Czechoslovakia. Her weight ballooned, and the tennis commentator Bud Collins unkindly dubbed her the Great Wide Hope. But neither he nor the rest of the world had any inkling of the strength of Martina's determination or willpower. Embarking on a new fitness regime with basketballer Nancy Lieberman, Martina became one of the fittest players in the game, and her remarkable success on the court continued throughout the 80s and early 90s. But she was still the outsider, the left-handed player in a field of right-handed ones, the serve and volleyer against a sea of baseline players. Martina's power and aggression dominated the sport, making her an unpopular figure in the early years. But her breathtaking skills and dedication slowly won over the crowds. When she came out as a lesbian in 1981, she lost millions in endorsements, but she won more fans for her honesty and willingness to take a stand.
Well, it means that I'm recognized for a lot of stuff that I've done over the years, but it also means that I need to keep working because we still have a long way to go in our community before we achieve full equality with our straight brothers and sisters, before we have equal protection under the law, before we have the right to marry, etc., etc. So there is a lot of work to be done. We're getting closer to it, but it's still got a long ways to go.
Today, Martina divides her time among various causes, including underprivileged children, environmental issues, and animal rights. Martina's reputation has only grown in stature. At 25, Martina had only 3 titles to her name, but her extraordinary fitness and resilience saw her win her last Grand Slam event aged 49, making her the oldest Grand Slam champion ever. She was inducted into the International Tennis Hall of Fame in 2000.